Yes, and we're back with a Friday Goal Rush show. Good evening, lads. It's myself, JP, and welcome to the Celtic Unrestricted View. Well, tonight we've got a couple of faces, as you can see, smiling ones at that, because we're always smiling nowadays, boys. First up, we'll come to yourself. How are we doing, Sean? No spoke to you for a while, mate. I hope you're well.
Very happy to be on, boys. Thanks very much for having me. Hope you're good. Looking forward to this. Been invited on the past couple, but life getting in the way, so been looking forward to this one.
I think he's been skiving, Ryan. What do you think, mate?
He's been getting the bins out.
He's been definitely up to something because he's been Scarlet Pimpernel for the last couple of Fridays, as he said. He's been asked on, but we've not had any joy of getting him on, but it was good to have him on tonight. How's yourself, Ryan?
Oh, good, mate. Looking forward to giving them tomorrow. Good to get Sean back home for a good chat as well. So, looking forward to it, mate. Looking forward to this as well. So, looking forward to weekend ahead, mate.
And just as you said there, Ryan, obviously we're looking forward to tomorrow. Another semi-final at Hampden. Probably not the best of stadiums, let's face it, to hosting things like cup finals and semi-finals, but it's in desperate need of a makeover, in my opinion. But no, it's superb for the Celts to be back at it again. Feel as if we've never been away, and it's where we kind of belong. Albeit, for many moons ago, it was our home park for a period of time till we got our new stadium built. So I feel as if every season now we're becoming accustomed to being either at the last four or the last two of a tournament. Sean, I'll come to yourself, mate. Obviously, as you said there, we're looking forward to the semi-final, mate. What's your thoughts on the team going into this one? And obviously, do you think Saturday would be a rough gauge as to a Kilmarnock sort of game plan for us? Or do you think the more as a semi-final, it's a different feel, it's a different sort of vibe? What's your thoughts on it?
I think it'll be a different feel, more for the fact that they need to go for it tomorrow. Like, in the league, it'd be a good result for them to leave Parkhead with a point. That's not the case tomorrow. They need to go for it, they need to score. So I think with them opening up a bit more, it should give us a bit more room to play a bit better football. Because I said to yous in the group chat and stuff last weekend, that game at home, that's the worst team I've seen come to Parkhead this season. No, for the fact that they sat deep and tried to frustrate us. There was points where we were running with the ball and their defenders were just sprinting full pelt and just volleying the ball out for a throw-in. Not even trying to pick a pass. So they can't do that tomorrow in a semi-final if they want any chance of getting through to the final. So totally different feel, but I think since Andrew's been here, we don't underestimate anybody. So no worries with us tomorrow. We play our football, then we'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, and that's it. Obviously, like you say, we don't underestimate anybody, but we train for every game the same way as we would, doesn't matter who we're playing, whether it's Real Madrid, Kilmarnock, Rangers, Hibs, Forfar, anybody, we'll still train the same way. And I think that's testament to the type of manager and coaching staff we have now at the club. But just as you say there, obviously Kilmarnock, I listened to a wee bit of Alan Power's interview today. I think it was for yesterday. And he says that nobody's more or less given us a chance, and we believe that we can cause an upset. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was there on Saturday, and I think at one point John Kennedy and Gavin Stratton were ready to open the bag of balls and stick an extra one on the park for half of that game, because they just couldn't get the ball off us. And if they think they're going to get something off us, I don't know if they think the game stops midway through and we plug a PlayStation in and then start playing for there, or they actually firmly believe that, for whatever reason they're going to be able to break through us and score. Obviously, minus anything catastrophic, Ryan, I think I'm expecting, or we all are, would be expecting a very comfortable victory for Celtic tomorrow.
Obviously Alan Powers, he's got to come out and say that. He's got to back his team. I'm sure he's a captain. I'm sure he is he? But he was a captain when he was there anyway the last time. Probably expect a yellow card for Alan tomorrow. He's due for a yellow card. He likes a tackle. They'll try and ruffle Celtic up.
Again, choke Conor McGregor.
Aye. For the game on Saturday, if I was a Kilmarnock fan, I just want to take any positives for that game for the weekend there. I know Kyle Lafferty's back, but the less said about him, the better, because he just shouldn't be playing. It's as simple as that. He shouldn't be playing football again for what he done. But in terms of Kilmarnock, I'm the same as you, JP. Same as the game at Ibrox, the same as any game we played this year. If Celtic turned up, Celtic won. It's as simple as that. It doesn't matter how Kilmarnock line up, how they play. You would expect Kilmarnock to probably start the same as the last game there, so we'll maybe try and get a counter-attack, because let's be fair, I know we have been solid defensively, but sometimes we have been prone to the odd no clean sheet this season, so that is probably the only thing that maybe give Kilmarnock a bit of hope, is the fact that maybe they can get a goal against us. But for that game at the weekend, you've got to be in Dreamland if you think Celtic are going to be up for this game. It's a semi-final, another chance to get into another final, and obviously progress what we're doing under Ange. I know that the press the day, I think it was on McGregor's interview today, or was it yesterday, they were trying to get him to talk about a treble. They're trying everything to try and jump the gun again here. And Celtic, McGregor, as he says, it's the next game. If we win the semi-final, then the next game's the next final. Every game's a final to Celtic. It doesn't matter who you're playing against. So the media will try their best. They tried their best with Anthony Stewart, with Aberdeen, who's better to play against Kolak. Morelos, he's fell into the trap and saying, Kolak's better. And Jim Goodwin's come out and says, listen, he's obviously not understood the full question, but we all know that Stewart's said the truth. Kolak were better to play because Morelos can't run. Morelos has got a sack of pies there, he can't run. He's finished at Rangers. He's not going to come back to anywhere near what he was. But in terms of us, mate, I think we'll all agree that it's going to take Kilmarnock to have a mammoth effort to beat us tomorrow. They could maybe get some extra time, but overall, I think if we don't, you've no divine right to win football games. I know that, we all know that. But with the quality we have got, if we don't turn up to Hampden and beat Kilmarnock, then we just don't deserve to be in any final. It's as simple as that. And that's no disrespect to Kilmarnock. They'll play their game, but if we can't beat Kilmarnock to get in our final, then I'll be very, very disappointed. I know in the past we've beat off teams like Ross County in finals and Inverness and stuff like that, but that's just, for me, just a different team. It's just a different team, a different mentality, just a full different animal at Celtic this season, JP. So for me, I'm not going to come out and say we're going to win 4 or 5 or anything like that, but I'd be very disappointed if I don't walk away from Hampden tomorrow through an final.
Yeah, I think that's the census from us all, Ryan. I think that, obviously, I think we all would be very disappointed, I think, if we walked away from Hampden. You know, it's the first cup up for grabs this season, and I think if we didn't walk away from Hampden with a victory, I think we would kind of be disappointed, because you'd be expecting to beat a team like Aberdeen. Aberdeen as well. But Kilmarnock tomorrow, definitely. It's me jumping the gun. I'm hoping Aberdeen get the final now, and that way my predictions came true. For anybody that's watching us now, or anybody that's listening in, I'm definitely not one of the kind of guys that has a premonition. So if anybody thinks I've seen something there, and in terms of us playing Aberdeen, then no, I haven't. Although it would be nice. although it would be nice, I think. I think that would make everybody's weekend if that was to happen. But in terms of the game tomorrow, Sean, as Ryan mentioned there, Lafferty's back for them. I know he's been out since October. So, and obviously no through any fault of his own, because he's just an empty. He's just a big daddy who obviously can't hold his water. And like I say, I don't think this is the first time with him either. I think he's done it more than once now, if my memory serves me right. But in terms of Lafferty, does he pose a different type of threat to anything that they've maybe got? I know they've got the boy Danny Armstrong and one or two others, but I'm not so sure because he's been out for that long. I know he's been training. He must be keeping fit because he's apparently doing star jumps outside room doors and stuff like that now. So he must be doing extra curriculum activities after he finishes training. And I don't know if he's doing Zumba lessons or I don't know why he's standing outside a manager's room doing star jumps. But I'm not sure what age Lafferty is, but I'm sure he's well into his 30s now. So he's not a hyperactive teenager. But obviously that's what we've been led to believe he was doing because his manager told us in his press conference. But does he pose a different type of threat for them, or is the media narrative around it just the usual, and it's just been hyped up to be something that it possibly isn't?
I think he does offer a different type of threat, as Ryan said when he was discussing the game. They're going to maybe start the game the way they did at Parkhead and try and hit us in the counter. We all know Lafferty's strength is his size. He's a big boy. So if they're playing the counter, he's the ideal player for them to be up top to receive that ball. Whether it'll be good or no, I don't think it will be because, let's be honest, he's pish. But if they're going to go counter-attack, he is a good option.
Try to be a wee bit diplomatic on the show, Sean, know what I mean? And you just, I'm not like telling the truth on a Friday night, mate, I suppose, eh?
Yes!
Especially with who we're discussing. As Ryan said, he shouldn't be, and you said, I know he shouldn't be playing again for what he done. So, Also, it doesn't strike me as the guy that will walk out that tunnel tomorrow with his head fully focused on how if Kilmarnock going to win this. The first challenge or whatever, he's going to get wound up. And let's be honest, the Celtic fans are going to wind him up, I know. It doesn't strike me as the guy that's no going to get bothered by it tomorrow. So, I don't even think, if I was McInnes, I wouldn't even start him. As you said, he's been training, but he's not been allowed to play any bounce games, any reserve games. He's not played football. There's a big
I think he
difference
played the
in
other day
that.
for them, didn't he? They had a bounce game the other day at Rugby Park. I'm sure he played in that.
No, he wasn't allowed to. It's this weekend is the first time he's allowed to play in any game at
really?
all. So,
I thought he played the other day, and he was part of it.
So I wouldn't be starting him, but I think they will start him because if they're going to sit back and hit counter attack, they're just going to use him up top to do that. And as long as we start with Carter Vickers and Starfelt, no problem.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing as well. I mean, I know when he was with Hearts, he scored a couple of goals against us, didn't he? And obviously it came kind of, not came back to bite us, but it was a sort of, he runs there solely to where the Celtic fans are behind the goal and does a big salute and stuff. And so he's definitely always up for that fixture whenever he comes up against Celtic. I just can't think anything but the fact that he's been out for October, Sean, has got to take a big toll on him. Especially, it's all right saying he's training, but he's no match sharp. And like you says yourself there, then he's not been able to play matches, bounce games, or anything. So, in my opinion, that takes its toll on you when you don't play. So you know yourself, boys, when you don't go to fives for a couple of weeks and then you go back, you're like a novice again. You go back and you're like, I'm not Irish up here. It's because you've not done anything for a couple of weeks. So, okay, he's training every day, but that match sharpness just isn't quite there. To be fair with you, I'm going to be honest now. I don't really care whether he starts or no. I think, to be honest, it's irrelevant whether he's going to start the game or not. Me personally, if I'm looking at it from their point of view, you're sitting with your fingers and toes crossed. Because that game at Celtic Park on Saturday could have ended up about 7-0. And probably should have been 7-0 if it wasn't for the bad fortune we had in terms of hitting the post, hitting the bar, and then their goalie pulling off a couple of good saves. So Kilmarnock have got their goalkeeper for Saturday to thank deeply for saving them for getting a doing. And the more I think, I know we keep saying this every game, right? Brian, I'll come to you with this one. I just think we've yet to kick properly into gear in terms of commute flying, and I just don't think we've done that all season. Maybe out with the Dundee United game, where we won 9-0, everything went for us. I still don't think. I think we've still played within ourselves up to then, and we're still getting this gap at the top of the league. We still look comfortable in the games that we're winning, even though we went to Easter Road, we won 4-0. We beat them 4-0 early in the season at Celtic Park. In my opinion, I just don't think we've got out of second gear. Now we've got new players added to the team. Obviously, we'll touch on that as we go, but I just think we're due to come out flying. We're due to come out and possibly give somebody another right going over, mate.
Aye, but if you listen to most of the media and maybe some fans in Scotland that Celtic have been below par, if that's us been low par, we're 9 points, basically 10 with a goal difference, still unbeaten with your rivals, you've lost a game maybe due to the manager's decisions and they admitted that after the game, then I can't wait till we start playing football properly. For me, I'm not just saying this as a Celtic fan. You know me, mate. I really do try in certain aspects in this podcast. I really try and look at the other narratives. I try to be unbiased as if I can, and looking for a neutral. It's a scary prospect for us not to be up to full pit in some of the games we played. I was at the game in Tannadice away from home, and we were unbelievable. It was a joy to watch. Let's be fair, I was half canned, but it was a fantastic performance. It was brilliant. It was like 3-4. I was like, we've just started here. And then at 5-6, I was like, I can't believe I'm seeing this. Away from home. At home, I'd maybe expect it, but no away from home. The Hibs game recently could have been like that as well. We missed so many chances. This is only... We criticise the players for missing chances, right? But yet you praise them because they're in the positions to make the chances. I'd rather they were there than no creating chances. So... I'd probably say the same as you, JP. I think we're due to put on another good performance, especially on telly, national semi-final. A lot of Scotland will be watching as well. It's a half-5 kick-off, so a lot of teams will be finished playing. So it should be a good watching prospect as well. So I think it'll be the same way as the game of the night. Saturday there, for the weekend. We'll try and come out maybe and start playing a wee bit, and then I think eventually we'll break them down. I'm hoping again Hampden massive pitch. Celtic will know maybe how they're going to play in terms of defensive wise. So it's kind of, if they do come out and play the same way, Celtic will probably know how they're going to play. They've just played them, so it's not going to be something like brand new. They'll be probably working the last few days maybe how to play against that, because obviously, you know kind of how these teams are going to play against you, but you've got to see every game differently. So I think they'll play with basically 10 men behind the ball and the goalkeeper. They'll just be totally cracked in at the back. So I do really feel that we'll really attack them. Because I think, I'm like you, mate, I can sense... Do you know what? I said at the start of the podcast, I'm really going to say it, but I can sense they're doing tomorrow. I'm just going to say it, because there's no point sitting on here just no saying what I feel, and I feel we're going to do them tomorrow. It might come back to bite me like it did against St Mirren, but I'm old enough, brave enough and ugly enough to actually admit it, and I'm going to say 4 or 5-0. People can screenshot this tomorrow, and if they get beat, cocky. I'm not being cocky, I'm just telling you how good my team is. That's what I can see, and I know Celtic have not come out in second gear most of the season. They've come out maybe second gear the game at Celtic Park against Rangers, and probably the game at United. Even the game against Hibs, I thought we cruised it. Didn't come out of second gear. Hibs the first 10-15 minutes, they didn't score, and that was it done. These teams get 1 or 2 chances against Celtic, and when they don't do it, then for me it's games of bogey. It's down to Celtic to then bet them down, because if you don't create chances against, no, that's the wrong way to say it. If you don't take your chance, really, the 1 or 2 chances against Celtic, for me, that's the only chances you get. Because the way
Getting
we
a wee
are,
bit worried there when you says if you don't create chances, because it'll be a long night for us in the stands if you're not creating chances.
like Sean says, with Starfelt and Vickers at the back, you might get the one chance, maybe two at a push. But see, after that, if you don't get a goal, then for me, I just can't see how these teams beat us. It took Rangers at Ibrox for us to really have a bit of a meltdown for them to get a goal. But the way, obviously, JJ came on and it just unbalanced the team. And it took that to happen. And for me, I know we spoke about it, JP, but for me, the moment with Joe Hart gave them something and it lifted the stadium. I know it wasn't the telltale sign of the game, but it gave them something to hang on to. And the crowd got up and I thought, right, that was where the game kind of went forward a bit. Maybe that might take something more for that to happen, for Kilmarnock to get a wee jag. But in terms of the game, mate, I'm just going to say what I feel, mate. And I just feel that we're going to put on a good performance. And it's going to take Kilmarnock to really, really have the game of their life to stop us. And for me, like you two have said, I've not really spoken about Lafferty because, see, if I said that in my job, I'm probably going to jail. I'm probably getting sacked. Or I'm getting heavily warned, suspended and all that. So I would never want anybody not to play football again because I know we all love football and that's somebody's job. But it just shouldn't be happening. Like you say, it's once or twice it's happened now. So surely if you've got a bit of a brain about you, you would learn, right, I need to keep my mouth shut. Doesn't matter who it is you're talking to, you're a professional. You need to be calm, cool, collected in every situation. That's just the way the world is with social media these days. Mm-hmm. So I do think he'll pose a wee bit of threat, as Sean says, because he's height, etc. if he starts. But listen, Kyle laughed at what we doing cartwheels and all after the game. We were doing cartwheels into his bed. So he'll be doing cartwheels celebrating. So on that matter, we could try and do cartwheels and handstands, but I don't think it's going to matter, mate, because he'll be celebrating anyway. But I'm expecting us. I'm just going to say it, mate. No point behind it. I'm expecting us to get him a doing. I mean, honestly.
Graham Murray's his instructor.
I'm just going to come out and say how I feel, mate. I think we will put a good performance. I just can't see Kilmarnock winning. I had to start. I was like, I'll be a bit unbiased. I'll try and talk to it, but the game and all that. But I just fancy it, mate. I just can't see how we lose the game unless we really, 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 really don't play well, mate. And I just can't see it in the semi-finals at Hampden.
We've got a wee comment for Ross Mullen, Ryan. I think he tends to agree with you. He says Celtic will absolutely scalp Kilmarnock tomorrow. I'm saying 5-0. It's a massive prediction to predict that kind of scoreline, in my opinion. It would be nice. Don't get me wrong. So obviously I'm going to be in attendance. So it would be very nice, I think, to go to Hampden and watch us winning with that kind of scoreline. I do think if that doesn't happen, you're going to be on another podcast on Sunday or something, Ryan, the way it was after the St Mirren game.
Listen, mate, if it gets us a wee view, then I'm all for it.
I don't know if you're aware of that one, Sean. When St Mirren beat us, we appeared on a St Mirren Side's podcast, and it was a kind of a joke that they were having a laugh at our expense because we predicted that Celtic would run away with the game, and we were only telling the truth basically if Celtic was to turn up. But that day never happened.
But we
played them on Wednesday night, didn't we? That's Wednesday coming.
Yeah, Celtic
you should get your revenge, boys.
But see what you're saying there, JP. Some people, I'll just say how I feel, mate. I'm not going to hide behind my phone or whatever. I'll just tell you, I think we're going to put in a performance. You can sit here and say, they might defend against us. It could be tight. Most Celtic fans are fighting the same. We're expected to walk at Hampden tomorrow in a final, but I know you've made the fine right to win football games. I get that. It's a semi-final. Anything can happen. But you've just got to look at the bare facts. We're a far better team, better manager, we're on form. The last game at the weekend there proves that it's going to take a mammoth task. So Alan Pibber is right. Nobody's giving you a chance because you've not got a chance. It's a simple fact. Celtic are going to have about 10 guys in order dying with the flu for Celtic not to perform. It's just not going to happen. One or two players could be off it. That happens at every team. But you've got to look at the bare facts. If Celtic turn up, if Kyogo's firing all cylinders like the semi-final against Hibs, then it's bye-bye. This game's a bogey. If Jota plays and turns up, this game's a bogey. If your guys, like you say, JP, the end of the season, when the top guys turn up, the cream of the crop turn up to their best, then that's how you win titles, and that's how you win cups, and that's what I expect tomorrow. And then maybe on Monday morning, I would expect a big backlash. Celtic podcaster says, easy win, sacked.
Well, we've got other people singing off the same hymn sheet. You see, John's saying he reckons it'll be 5-0 as well. I'm beginning to think, Sean, he's got a secret coupon on with these guys, and he's not wanted to share his inside info. I'm beginning to think he knows something that we don't. But
you hitting out way that we're going to play Aberdeen, and then that's 3 people now said 5-0. Might do a wee double, sell it 5-0, Aberdeen to win tomorrow.
Aye, all right, missed it, Meg.
We look into the future. We're a wee bit optimistic in this podcast, I'm afraid.
Sometimes too optimistic, I think.
Sometimes too, aye. You're sitting there now like Jimmy Calder with your rosary beads in your pocket, aren't you? You haven't allowed enough. The prospect of that scoreline coming in, so that you don't end up on Scotland Today. Have you seen this man? He's disappeared since Friday night since he predicted a scoreline.
I'm in
Last
Charcoal
spotted
saying,
outside Hampden, shouting about get the bins
out. Last seen walking down Paisley Road West shouting get the bins out. Absolutely superb. In terms of yourself, Sean, looking at for result wise tomorrow, in terms of the team, do you see many changes happening? Do you see Ange changing too much for what we saw on Saturday? I know obviously you said Taksabanovic, Welsh, Ralston, I think it's McCarthy, all just resumed training today. So tomorrow would be too soon for any of them. But and obviously Greg Oxo, as I call him, Greg Taylor, he's still got another couple of weeks away. So in terms of the team itself, do you see many changes happening, or do you see them keeping it pretty simple and obviously keeping the momentum without the squad?
I think it'll be round about the same team as the weekend, but personally I'd have Cedrus in goal tomorrow, because I've said to you before, and he's the cup keeper. Andrew's used him in the cups as well, so I'd like to see that continue tomorrow. I know he was out with a wee bit of a calf problem. He's not with the bench last couple of games, but if he's back fit, then that'll be more than a change tomorrow. And basically the same team as Saturday. And then if you want to introduce, for instance, at Iwata and get some people some minutes, see how the results gone, then go for that sort of thing. But I don't expect too many changes tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't think there'll be too many changes. But it is Ange we're talking about here, and he played James Forrest at Ibrox right out of the blue for nowhere, and then he's predicted that at all. And Ryan's still not recovered for it, as I can see. But in terms of Ange, nothing would surprise me with the guy, because everything he does, you just believe in it. You just sort of go with it. You would think, yeah, here we go. He knows what he's doing. He's never gave us a reason up to now, Sean, to no trust him, no believe in him. So, in all honesty, I don't think it would matter what team he played tomorrow. I think the team, he would just trust. Everybody like us would just trust him to pick the appropriate team to go and secure that 5-0 victory that Ryan's looking for. I think a few of the guys watching this. But no, I'm with you guys. I don't think there'll be much difference in terms of the team. I think the team will be pretty. The team more or less picks itself out with probably the goalie situation, because I think it will be 50-50 if Joe Hart plays or Big Seagrass. So I think the team itself could pick itself. And Ryan, just as Sean touched on there, obviously he mentioned his name, Iwata. Obviously for any of the guys watching in, this is a guy here he's talking about. They're now signing Tomoki Iwata. He's came from the J League from Yokohama Marinos. Last season he was the J League's Player of the Year, and narrowly was unlucky to miss out in the World Cup selection for the Japanese team, and that was all down to a slight wee knock he took just before the end of the season last season. That's why Moriyasu never picked him. But in terms of Iwata, I'll give you my opinion first, then I'll let you guys come in and say what you think on that. I'm thinking that he'll come straight into the squad. So when I say that, I don't mean he'll instantly come right into the team, although it wouldn't surprise me if he did. I do think he's coming here to play. I don't think he's coming here to be a bit part player. I think, just like I say, Ange brought him to Yokohama Marinos. He coached him. He knows what he's capable of. He's now brought him to Celtic. He was a J League's Player of the Year last season. All the kind of box he's been ticked. I don't think Ange is messing about with this one. I think Ange knows what he's kind of getting. He knows he's maybe lacking a wee bit of steel. We've said before, we're too nice in the middle of the park. And I think Ange has brought this guy in to kind of show that up for us. So I think the Mora, we will see him at some point, whether it be starting the game or coming into the team. My heat's probably swaying towards he'll be a sub. But again, nothing surprises me. I'll come to you with that one first, Ryan. Obviously, we're happy to have him, first and foremost. We've done a bit of due diligence on him. He seems to have been a good coup. And for a guy who was a J League's Player of the Year, to be signing a guy in the summer permanently and only having to pay 830 grand for him, I think that's remarkable business, mate. I don't know about yourself.
In terms of obviously the team, I think Secrets will play if he's fit, because normally the number 2 is kind of this kind of competition's goalkeeper. Scott Bain, I think, played a few games in it as well when he was a second keeper. So again, I'm not surprised with Joe Hart's playing, because you play your best team, but Secrets is definitely more capable of coming and stepping in play. So I think he could be the only change, unless maybe there's an injury that we don't know about, etc. So obviously if Haske Banovic is fit, he could be in contention as well to get minutes as well. I'd be shocked if James Forrest starts. I'll tell you that now. I know he played at Ibrox probably due to it was forced. We didn't know that obviously at the start of the game. I couldn't believe he started the game, even though he's had experience, etc. He's never played well at Ibrox since I've been a Celtic fan. That I can remember. He always had people going to say it's disrespectful to say that he hides, but he does hide in the games at Celtic Park, doesn't he? But at Ibrox, he just doesn't show up. But that happens to a lot of players, not just James Forrest. Some guys have went to Ibrox or Celtic Park and they've just crumbled. It happens to a lot of good players. So, but in terms of the Mora, mate, the man we're talking about, brilliant signing. I've watched a bit of YouTube. I've done my bit of status about him. I've seen bits and bobs. Obviously, some good friends we've got. Kind of with the podcast, have told us a bit about him. So, brilliant signing. Obviously, in terms of value, it's phenomenal. We all know we can scout brilliant players and then they can come in and play and not do too well. That's not down to the manager doing bad scouting. That's just some people, like me, you and Baz spoke about before the game at Ibrox. Some people just can't play under pressure at Celtic or Rangers or big clubs. So in terms of value, JP, we've got the value completely spot on. That's phenomenal value for a guy that's at Player of the Year. We've got Kyle for £4.5 million, who isn't in Player of the Year. But yeah, we're getting a guy who is Player of the Year for less than £1 million. I just don't understand it. I don't know how they've got doing that. Because it's phenomenal value. I personally, I would be surprised if he's on the bench tomorrow. I would be surprised, but he has been brought in to obviously play, because you don't take a guy that's had Player of the Year for a club and then goes, you know what, I'll just stick you in the bench. I'll just buy you, stick you in the bench. He's come here to challenge Hatate, O'Reilly, Moy, because let's be fair, nobody's challenging McGregor. McGregor's a stick on to play every week. He's a captain, he's the best player in Scotland, best player midfielder in Scotland, so he's never going to get out of position unless he's injured or there's maybe something that's came awry. So he's going to be challenging a few guys in midfield. But like we've spoken about in the podcast and personally in group chats and personal, we are still quite light in midfield in terms of steel and that strength, and that we keep mentioning Wanyama type player, but that's what we're missing. And he looks that sort of stocky, wee bold, strong, just people bounce off him. So we're hoping that everything we've seen from him again, this is only by what we've seen. You can't go on what I've actually seen in games, sort of full 90 minutes. I've only seen snippets of him, and he does look a good player. But listen, I thought I was all right, but you put me in YouTube and I could look amazing. Do you know what I mean? So
No, you
it's
couldn't.
just what I could tell you. I'll tell you, I was superb. Come on. No, but anybody can
I'm just raging you beat me to that, JP.
It's like,
No,
but we've signed guys like
But he never
Bandura.
stipulated there, Sean. He's talked about he was superb, but he never told us what exactly on YouTube he was doing.
Ask my Gomez fans, he'll tell you what's good at. No, but guys like Marion Sheft and guys like that, we've signed, have all looked good on YouTube, and then they've came and they've not hit the ground running. So you've got to just see how the guy comes in and plays. But I read it there. Only fans. For me, I'm looking forward to the signing JP and Sean. I'm looking forward to him. Just in terms of the value we've got for it, the recruitment's absolutely bonkers that we've done. Anybody in Scotland criticises any recruitment, I'm just going to come out and say it. You generally don't know football. It's not for you if you're criticising Celtic's recruitment. They've basically got, maybe the only one I can say that's no properly worked out is Gucci, and that's because he's had a long-term injury, and we all know that he's got something injured with him, and it's something that's going to maybe happen in his career. So it's not something like we're surprised about now, because we know that maybe his body is it's just the way it is. McCarthy's done okay when he's played. He's just unfortunate that the guys in front of him are much better than him. That's just unfortunate. It happens. I played in teams where guys were much better than me. Doesn't mean that I was terrible. Same with you, Sean, or JP yourself. If guys play in front of you, doesn't mean that you're a bad player. It's just that they might have better things up. You're better at in their system or whatever formation, whatever you're playing at. So, in terms of what I'm looking forward to JP, he looks very, very able to come in and play. Like you say, the manager trusts him. That's the most important thing. The manager wants him, and they tried to get him last summer, I believe, as well. So it just shows you that they've got a process where, right, we didn't get him now, we don't get him in January, we'll maybe get him next year. It's just a revolving door. Celtic, they've got a mass. The recruitment side of things is totally changed. The way they're working, the way how they're going to scout players, it's totally different. It's night and day for the way we were. Even the medical setup's all different now, and just the full, and just come in and Nicholson and Lawwell, and I know Lawwell's back again, Barry. I want to mention that as well. This is just my opinion. I don't speak for you. I don't speak for other people in Celtic fan base, but just my opinion. Some of the fans really need to stop talking about Peter Lawwell doing transfers. Or it's Lawwell's fault, Jackie Marcus in a way. Yeah, it's Lawwell's fault that Cho's no signed yet. It's no Lawwell's fault. Lawwell's taking nothing to do with it. This is just, it's a day with the Jackie Marcus situation. It's day with Jackie Marcus and his agent. Cho's just obviously dwelling their Celtic minds or whatever. That's just what happens. That's not the Celtic. That's not to Peter Lawwell. People really need to. It's going on my goat. I don't know about you boys if he's about to mention that, but it's going on my goat that they're using Peter Lawwell now as a scapegoat for some of that stuff. Peter Lawwell's getting nothing to do with it. Or Lawwell's come in and transfers are stopped. We've no stopped. We've just signed 2 or 3 players since he's come in. Fuck, come on, man. Give the guy a bit of a break, man. He's just in the door again. But people like to just criticise him because, we lost the 10 and he stopped these signings. But that's done. That's done. He's not here to do that. He's here to look after other side of the things like the VAR that people are talking about. He's trying to help us with that. Stop all this scapegoat about Peter Lawwell and just actually do your information properly and look at things. And stop reading articles and think, this is happening. Don't believe I'm reading in papers and Twitter, and it's a minefield. But on the game tomorrow, mate, I'm looking forward to him. But if he's want to go in Peter Lawwell, if he's got a bit on that, but I just think some fans really, really just need to just give the guy a bit of slack. Aye, you might not want him in the club. That's fine. But don't start using him as Cho's not coming because Peter Lawwell's here. He's a break, man. Come on.
Sean, I don't know how we follow an Andy Gray spiel like that, mate, but we'll do our best. As I say,
and you might need to take that jacket off. He's running a bit red now.
Aye.
That's because I think my only fans later.
You get an appointment with him later, aye?
Aye, but he's giving me because it's Friday. It's nothing tonight.
No, Sean, I'll come to yourself with that one, mate. In terms of Iwata first, and then obviously if you want to be concerned about this, the recent comments that we've seen on our social media in terms of the chairman, Peter Lawwell, I think I'll come to you with that one first before I give my opinion. Aye, fire away, mate. If you, in terms of Iwata, what you thinking?
In terms of Iwata, I think he's going to play more than people think he is. It's not an 11-man game anymore. We've seen that with Ange. 16 players play for us any given day. So with the amount of football that Callum McGregor had played for us in the last few years, when he goes out with that injury, since he came back, he's looked even better than before. And is that because he's had a rest? Is he going to rotate him a bit more often now? I think back to before the Champions League, Matt O'Reilly did an interview with us, and he get asked the usual, or he's going to set up different in the Champions League, and he always set out with the answer, well, no, we're going to play our way, but we have been practicing different ways of playing and training. So is Iwata signed for the possibility of when we need to shoot up at the back a bit, does he drop into McGregor's position with McGregor? Is it sort of 4-2-3-1 role? Maybe he starts there, McGregor plays further forward. When we're defending, he moves back. Is he going to be this sort of player? As Ryan said, a bit more steel in the middle of the park. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him. By all accounts, he's meant to be absolutely brilliant, and he's going to fit in no problem to Andrew's style. Obviously, previously worked with him. And the only thing I'll say about Lawwell is a lot of people keep saying since he's been back, he's never been away.
No,
let's be honest.
Never been away.
So
never been away.
That's the only thing I'm going to say about that. I totally agree with Ryan. Since it's been announced that he's back in this sort of role, that sort of role, as soon as one thing goes wrong, everybody's darts are pointed at him. But that's all I'll say on it. Yeah,
I'm the same. I think he's. I think when anything goes wrong, or when people think things are going wrong, they start looking for scapegoats and start looking for people to point fingers at and throw the darts at. And but I think Peter Lawwell, over the time he's been a great servant to the club. He's brought the club. He's actually saw a lot of success at the club as well. 1 or 2 seasons are not so good, but there's more success than what there is not success. They've been unsuccessful, and obviously what we've read and what we've heard, he was instrumental in getting Ange to the club as well. So I think a lot of fans need to take a wee seat back and think about what it is they put on social media sometimes, because some of it, in my opinion, surely can't make sense in your own head before you start typing. Either that or your fingers are just uncontrollable and they just like to type whatever it is they want to type without your brain actually engaging and thinking what it is you're actually doing. So all I'm going to say is I'm quite happy to have a guy with the experience of Peter Lawwell at the club. Whether it would be an advisory role or whatever he's doing. I know he's a chairman, so he's probably his job's probably not as pressurised as what it was before, because he's probably not having to deal with the transfer side yet. He's probably not having to deal with all that kind of stuff now. So that's why you've got guys like Michael Nicholson, and obviously Ange has brought in Mark Lawwell. And Mark obviously joined the club before his dad was announced chairman again. So no, I don't have any qualms with. But Ryan mentioned obviously the boy Cho that we've been heavily linked with from South Korea. Like I says, I think when things are media driven and the media narrative surrounds it, it's put, especially when it comes to Celtic, in my opinion, it's portrayed negatively to get everybody talking about it, to get everybody sort of jumping on that gravy train. Hopefully they'll start having disagreements, they'll start having, opinions on it, etc. I think people just need to take a wee sit back and remember what Angie's recruitment has been like since he took over. Watching Angie's presser today, he says it himself. if we see an opening, we move for it and we get it done as quickly as we can. Which means if there's something to be done, there'll be something to done, and nobody's going to step in the way of that, or nobody's going to. I just think Ange handles that brilliantly. I think he's, the way he puts that forward. But I think a lot of your fans need to, well, some of your fans anyway, need to have a wee think before they, they start typing things about people, and remember exactly the way the club is run, the way it's been done in a professional way, and why we're allowed to be successful now, why we're allowed to be agile in the transfer market now, why we're having this momentum just now that we're going through with proper recruitment being done. Like I said before in a few pods ago, everybody's in the position at the club now that they should be in. And obviously the wheels are just rolling round and round we'll go. And as far as I'm concerned, guys, I don't know about yourselves, but as long as Ange is here, then I can only see it working out positively for us. I don't see it hitting negative vibes, or but there is that one or two, and obviously you're always going to get that regardless of what club it is or what's going on. But no, I'm with you. I think some parts of it are extremely wild.
Because if you don't notice that, sorry, Carl, mate, but see if you don't notice that, like you're talking about the media driven, right? The last 2 to 3 days, there's been no talk about Juranovic. No fans are talking about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in group chats, no, but I've not seen one Twitter post or Facebook group saying, "Is Juranovic left yet? Is he still want to be here?" No, because it's known in the media the last 2 or 3 days. As soon see tomorrow morning, if it comes out, Monza might try to say Juranovic or Man U or whoever it is. Oh, isn't it? Oh, I thought he was going to stay. Or is he not away yet? Is he? Why is he not left yet? Or why is it? It's the media put out these stories at certain times because they know they're going to get attention. That's why they do it. And some of us, myself, I used to be dead. Time me on it. I used to be the back page and go, "Oh, say I'm going to sign him." Oh, why is that? Because the media told me. No, the media will tell you anything they want to tell you. Most of the time, there's no smoke without fire. There could be an interest. I've got an interest in Katie Perry. Doesn't mean I'm going to go there. Do you know what I mean? There's a big thing here. Interest is different for actually a bid, an offer, contracts. It's a total different feeling. We're in a bit of a position privilege as fans because you know some people, you've done some podcasts, you know bits more ins and outs and transfers and maybe your normal Joe blog. It just goes to games and gets home. But that's fair enough. They just go to games and that's it. We do a bit of due diligence. You want to talk to these guys. You want to know a bit more. You've been involved in football. Transfers happen not just because Celtic don't want them or the guy doesn't want to come. There's loads of things that guys don't come to football clubs. Like Celtic might go to show, right? Again, this is just, I don't know anything about this deal in terms of wages, etc. They might go, right, you've come off a good World Cup, £3 to £4 million, we'll give you 20 grand a week. We qualify for Europe, you might get this, you might get that, whatever. But then Mainz might go, do you know what? We'll give you 25 grand a week. You might go, do you know what? I know the league, maybe I'm sure there's somebody in that team that he knows. Am I right in saying that?
I think he knows the manager, doesn't he?
Aye, right. So I know the manager. I'm getting 5 grand a week more. I might be playing in a better league. Do you know what? I might go. People might think 5 grand a week's not a lot of money, but some players it is a lot of money. And they're talking about him, he's want to stay in Europe or whatever. But if you stay with Celtic, in my opinion, we're going to win the league unless an absolute mishap happens. So then you've got Champions League. Why would any player not want to play in that? Forget about the Scottish League. You're getting 6 absolute belter games. You're getting 4 games against Rangers that are going to be everywhere. There's more chance in my opinion, maybe getting a better move to England, playing with Celtic in the Champions League, than you have been maybe playing in the German second division, because Knights are down below. They're not doing very well. But maybe that's why they're trying to sign him, to try and get the goals to go up. But there's loads of reasons why players don't go. It could be medicals, it could be family reasons, it could be anything. But they think because he didn't sign for Celtic, or that's Celtic's fault. Does it just, Celtic might not want him. They might be, do you know what, there's the offer, you don't want it, then we're off. Because see if this drags on, like you say, JP, the way Celtic are, Celtic in a position where they go, do you know what, we don't want you, we'll go for somebody else. If you're messing about, we'll go somewhere else. The other side of the city have no got that luxury They've not got the budget we've got to go out and get £4 or £5 million players. They may need to go, the boy Cantwell, maybe we'll get him 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Right, Todd, are you coming? Are you coming? What's happening? Are you coming? But at Celtic, if it lasts 2 weeks, they might go, do you know what? We're off. See you later. We'll go for the Norwegian guy or the Japanese guy or whatever. So sometimes, like you say, I take a step back now. I never used to. I used to be full gung-ho. Why are we not getting him? Oh, we're linked with him. Oh, I'll be getting him. Sometimes you need to take a step back. Right, we're linked with him. Let me see stats. Let me see maybe how he is. Let me see who else is reporting it. Are they reliable? Is it just a media outlet? You need to do a lot of things and just believe papers. Don't believe social media until you see more about it. So I know you think the same as me. I know for a fact you might not say it, but sometimes you need to take a step back and look at things as they are instead of going further forward. They talk about Jackie Marcus, right? I've seen a few things on Twitter and he doesn't want to be here. It's today with Ange and him and this and that. What are you talking about? It's today with his agent leaking it first and he's wanting more money. Because let's be fair, right? People let's in my job, right? See if I've scored 20. If you're top goal scorer in Holland, right? He's came to Celtic. If you're top goal scorer last year, be it Kyogo was injured, right? And he's took the mantle and he's done the job. Apparently, he's on 11 grand a week. Don't know if that's true. I just seen it online. It could be absolute bull. I don't know. But see if that's what he's offered. See, in my opinion, that's a lot of money anyway, right? That's 50 odd grand a month, whatever it is. Take with your tax. I think they get taxed 40%, might be 35, 30 grand a month. I don't know, right? I'm not good at maths. Still a very handsome wage to play football. But see if you're one of the top strikers in Scotland and you don't get 11 grand a week, I can maybe see why he's wanting more money, maybe an extra 5 grand a week or whatever. He's wanting to set his family up better. That's understandable. Maybe he feels that that's what he's due or that's what he was told he's maybe getting. But fans are just going, he doesn't want to be here. Jackie Marcus has never come out and says, I don't want to be here. He's never said that. The press are saying that. Nobody at Celtic said that. Ange's never come out and says, I don't want to be here. I'm not playing him because of this or because of that. He's not playing maybe for other reasons at the club, but he's not playing because Kyogo's on form. Kyogo's scoring goals, and he's not getting the sniff because he's scoring goals. That's as simple as that. For me, I'm not used. I know I'm a bit of a spiel, but I just feel that I need to get it close because you need to just take a step back and look at it as it is. Don't read articles and think that that's the case. They're writing that to make money. They're making that to make you think that's what's happening. But I just think it's a lot of money that these players get, right? But see if you can get more money elsewhere, right? See if you're 28, 29, that could be your last big move. So I've no qualms and the club's players going, do you know what? I'll take you. I've got a young family, bit more money, bit more security. He's done his job at Celtic. See if that's the case. Look, Jackie Marcus, JJ, thanks for your service. Enjoy the rest of your life and we move on. Celtic don't stop for anybody. We don't stop. We'll buy another right back with David Johnson. We'll buy another striker. But I don't think Jackie Marcus will go unless we get somebody in because you can't leave the wee man yourself because if he gets injured, you're kind of having to scrape the bar open, put a bad out front or Maeda, and you want to have a guy who come in and play. But the headline for me is just stop reading nonsense online, man. Wrap it.
I don't know about you there, Sean, but he lost me after he says he wanted to get with Katy Perry.
I know. I love the fact that he said, I've got interest in her, as if she'd have interest in him, you know what I mean?
We all know she kissed a girl and liked it, so obviously that rules that out right away from him, doesn't it?
And that's the full thing, knackered.
So back to the drawing board for you.
Firework there.
Always said he's a bit of a banger.
Aye. Next to Lady Gaga and I'll put a poker face on.
Oh no, definitely no.
Enough, man.
Hey, back to the footballer.
Aye, thank God we're doing a podcast and it's no stand up.
Oh, I know.
Sean, how do we follow that? I mean, that's
no, but be honest, what do you agree with me? Am I talking with my bum here? Am I talking with my arse or
Well, I think Katy Perry's in America, mate, so I don't
Well,
think you've got any shout with that
I'm
one
not talking
whatsoever.
about Katy Perry, but
Unless you do have her in your contacts, which
in general
I'm
about
definitely
the
want to be
players
there
and
for the
that.
FaceTime, if you do.
But I don't know if you agree with me. Brilliant. If you don't, then don't. That's just my opinion. But I just think it's some of the things you see online. You're like, don't believe the papers, man. They're going to tell you what they want to hear. I don't know if I'm having a rant there and it makes no sense, then tell me.
No, Sean, I'll come to you with that one. I'll put that one to you. In fact, just what Ryan was saying in terms of, you know, some of the things that you're reading on social media, because we've been linked with this player, it seems to be now taking a wee bit of time to maybe get a deal done if that's the case, or, you know, whatever else is underlying. But I think he was spot on with what he was saying also in terms of Celtic won't hang about. They'll move on. They're probably already, if obviously we don't know, but they've probably already, I'd imagine, gave some sort of deadline. Let's just say for talk's sake, if it is Joe that, you know, they are chasing and the rumours are led to believe true. If that's the case, I would imagine Ange is proactive enough to have maybe put in a deadline, or they've asked for some sort of communication to have been brought back to them. If no, then I would imagine they'll move on and get somebody else. They look as if they are that agile and proactive that they've probably already got somebody else in mind. We look at the Matt O'Reilly example. He came in right out the cold to us when it was actually the Australian lad he was after, Riley McGree. Yeah, so obviously, and then we didn't get him, and he went to Middlesbrough, and it's turned out to be a great move for him. But the fact that after that, then Matt O'Reilly pops up, and it just shows you the depths of, you know, the actual recruitment that we're doing and the due diligence that we do on people. I would imagine the lad Cho for South Korea would be probably in the same category there in terms of if it's not going to be him, then it definitely will be somebody else.
Totally agree with you. I think if the South Korean boy Cho, if that's no early line within the next couple of days, we simply cut ties, move on, because I agree with you, there's got to be maybe 2-3 other players sitting there on our books waiting. If this deal doesn't go through, we put all our effort into this one now. For all we know, we're not putting all the effort into Cho. As Ryan said quite rightly, a story goes onto social media and it snowballs like something wild, so we don't know. People behind closed doors at Celtic know exactly what's going on, so for all we know, all the media attention is on us signing this boy, but we've got people in some other country, at some other club, talking to a player right now, and Monday morning, there's going to be a tweet come out with a player starting at parted with a scarf above his head, and that's just been a total distraction. Maybe not intentionally, but you get what I mean, with Ryan's rant about the media and stuff. They'll just run with it, so I believe if we don't get him, there will be somebody else in place, because especially if Giacomakis goes, we do need somebody to come in and replace him. Or is it going to be the case of Alistair Johnson, similar to that, but expecting Giacomakis to leave? It might not be January, but it might be summer. So do we bring somebody in the new to kind of get a feel for the club sort of thing in play? But aye.
I think we can all off guess that Ange is obviously looking to recruit another striker. We've spoke at length before, Ryan, on this as well. I know I've spoke to yourself about it, Sean, and we've all agreed that we think Celtic, they need another striker, regardless of whether Giacomakis stays here or he doesn't, because I think after this season's Champions League campaign, and obviously we were a tad goal shy, and that, and I say tad as in because I'm trying not to run them down too much in terms of, you know, the way other people have caned them over it. But we were goal shy, and it just the wee bit of bad luck as well. You know, you look at the man, Greg Taylor hits into the floor and it hits the bar and comes back out, and just I think a wee bit of inexperience as well involved with, you know, at the level. But no doubt about it, for me, lads, I think we need another striker to help them. I think the boys we might even agree with you ourselves. You know, we play a lot of games as a club, so you put a demand on one or even the two, and it's a lot of games you're asking them to play without capturing injuries, without capturing maybe suspensions or any other things that are, you know, could possibly happen in a season. And I think it's more beneficial to attack all fronts with some depth in certain positions. And I just think strikers one of the positions that you need to have a bit of depth in, especially to play the way Ange likes to play this front foot, rock and roll type football. So I would agree. I do think that Ange is, you know, obviously looking in that position, definitely. Now, this part of the show is a bit that Jimmy Calderwood's been rubbing his rosary beads for all night, and as I say, I absolutely love it. And it brings me to this part of the show, which is called the Goal Rush. So basically, what we're going to do, because right now it is currently, I think it's 1-0 still to Hearts.
Your score?
Yes. It was Barry
Roy get
McKay.
his shank on penalty. Oh.
No, it was Barry McKay.
Okay.
So currently, Hearts are winning 1-0. So the rest of the goal rush, Sean, I'll come to yourself first because obviously you're new to this Friday night. Tomorrow's fixtures in the league, because the league's still going ahead, believe it or not, shot caller, while we're in cup duty. So come to yourself with this one. You've got Hibs and Dundee United, mate. I don't know if you're familiar with the goal rush, mate, but what we're doing is we're predicting winners or a draw. We're not predicting score lines, scorers, anything like that. So it's basically what team you think's going to win, or if you think it's going to be a draw. And we've got a wee league table going as well. So when you make your predictions, your points get added up. So it's 2 points for a win and a point for a draw. So if you want to join us, we are a couple of weeks underway, but if you want to join us, more than welcome, mate. Just means you'll be
I'll
starting
go for it.
You'll be starting at the bottom of the table. All predictions need to be in before kick-off. So anybody that didn't have their predictions in before the Hearts game tonight, I can't now count the Hearts result for you, because obviously that's now happening. All your predictions need to be in before kick-off, and once the predictions are in, you can't change them. So we ask everyone to have a real good think about what they're going to predict before they do. So I'll come to you first, Sean. You've got Hibernian at home to Dundee United.
Hibs win. Going for a Hibs win there.
Okay.
Aye. I had a wee jot down there, well, thinking about knowing this, and I actually wrote down a couple of stretch goals, and I may or may not have put a wee bet on 6 stretch goals for the weekend. So that would just laugh.
You and him weren't in the bookies at the same time by any chance, were you, predicting results?
Oh no, the bookies I wrote are far different from the bookies he wrote, say by the sounds of it.
Right, okay. Ryan, yourself on that result, mate?
I'm going to go with Sean as well. I think they're starting to get a wee bit of improvement. Hibs with Johnson. It took a bit of time, but I think they've obviously won the last game, so I think they'll want to keep that momentum going. And I think do you say United about it?
Yeah.
So it's just the thing with them is, see the fact they've got Fletcher in their team. I was close to tipping them because they've got Fletcher. I know Hibs are getting me giddy, but Fletcher up front for me is just brilliant. Even though against Rangers he was brilliant, he should have scored 2 or 3 goals. I still rate him in terms of, obviously no Celtic, but as a player, he's brilliant experience, brilliant know-how in the league. So, but I'm going to go Hibs, especially with Ian McGeady fit now and Nisbet's firing. So I'll even give you a wee Nisbet any time and Hibs to win.
All right, okay. I'm actually going to throw a wee curveball to that one and say a draw. I fancy a wee draw. Up until Sunday there, Dundee United were in a good bit of form, and I actually think they were okay on Sunday. They weren't poor, although they lost the game 2-0. But I think it might be a draw. Hibs are very inconsistent at the moment, and that's the reason why I'm going to go for a draw. Sean, I'll come to you with the next one, mate. We've got Motherwell at home to Ross County.
Massive game that, innit? Down at the bottom.
Yeah.
But I fancy Motherwell to take a wee home one there.
Okay. Just totally discounting Ross County altogether.
Right.
Aye. Fair dues. Aye, so am I. I'm going to say Motherwell with that man as well. I think Motherwell feel a bit aggrieved. I think Motherwell played quite well against Hibs, scored 2 good goals. Albeit the last one, the second goal was the last sort of, more or less the last kick of the ball against Hibs. Hibs ended up winning 3-2, but no, it was a kind of pretty even game all round, and I'm going to go with Motherwell for the Ross County. I think Motherwell will beat them at home, especially being at home as well. Motherwell have got the lift a couple of new signings on the door as well. The boy for Gillingham, I think it's 2 forwards I've signed. So, and they massively needed it, especially with Louis Moult being injured and obviously being sent back to his parent club. So, no, I'm going to say Motherwell at home. Ryan?
I'm sure I said Ross County to you today.
I'm sure he did, mate. You
No,
want me to clarify that?
If you want, where we go, mate. But I'm sure. Even if I didn't, I'm going to go Ross County anyway. I do think Ross County. I think they need a wee win. Motherwell. For me, Motherwell are.
You actually said draw.
Did I say draw?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've got to stick my draw in because I said that first. I've got to stick with it. I've got to stick with it. You never change your mind. You never change your mind. So,
your predictions are in anyway. I've got them fairly, but
I know a draw. I've got
worst
a draw.
gambler in the world, man.
No, you can't change your mind. I don't know why I thought I said Ross County. But no, draw in. I stick my draw. I think what you says. I think Sean says it might be a cagey game there. I think it could be a cagey game. I'm going to go a draw, mate. I did say that earlier, so I did have that in my head to say a draw. So, no, I'll go a draw, mate.
Okay. Sean, St Johnstone at home to Livingston.
I'm going to go. I was torn with this one, but I'm going to go with St Johnstone.
Okay.
Going to go with St Johnstone, aye.
Okay, I'm going to say Livy. I think Livy will do the business. I think
Mihas Buller's
got him fired up. I think Nibley's back and all, so I think that gives him a wee lift as well. So I'm going to say Livingston. Ryan, what about yourself?
I think I say St Johnstone. So I think St Johnstone for me.
I'll tell you right now what you said. Hold on. Aye, you did.
St Johnstone for me, mate. Aye.
Okay. Well, that brings us to the end of tonight, boys. Thank you very much for your time. Cheers for your predictions, and cheers for your odds there for the Kenny Rogers there, a gambler. And any of the folks watching us just now, any one of you that have already took part before, please get your predictions in. Like I says, before the kickoffs. Obviously, anybody coming forward now is going to have to. We're going to need to discount the Hearts result as that game is now underway. But the rest of the results, you can still gather points for the league table when you're on. Ryan, you put the league table up earlier, didn't you, on the Twitter page?
Aye, it's updated, mate. Aye.
Yeah, it's an updated table on the Twitter page. So anyone that still wants to take part, feel free to send your predictions in on any part of the social media that we have. Myself, Ryan and Sean are on Twitter. Myself and Ryan are on all other social platforms. The page is on all social platforms as well. There's myself and Ryan's Twitter handles. So you'll be able to get a wee note of that first if you want to contact us with your predictions. If not, you can message us or message a page on any one of the socials. And anyone that enjoys the content at all, that wants to watch us a wee bit more, please feel free to subscribe to the channel, Celtic Unrestricted View. Just click the subscribe button, the wee bell, and you'll be notified anytime the page goes live. It's totally free to do it. A lot of people might get put off and think there's a cost involved or anything, but it's totally free to do. So anyone that doesn't know what to do, if you've not got like a Google account or anything, all you have to do is just sign up and make one up. So it's just an email address and a password that you as an individual will remember, and you'll be able to go on and, like I says, and follow the page. Because the more subscribers we get, the more chance it gives us to bring content to you guys, and we do this absolutely free of charge. So we don't charge any money for this at all. We just love chatting about Celtic. We love chatting about football, and that's why we're here. And yeah, and we feel privileged to be in this position. Your man here loves to dream about things like Katy Perry. So as it's Friday night, we are now going to go and allow him to do that. Like I says, but like I says, totally enjoyed the chat with these boys tonight.
Getting ready for it.
I looks like Wally Collins' red card for tomorrow, mate. You better take a wee run up to and drop that off before
Doogie. Red card.
Aye. But yeah, as I said, total pleasure being on again, these lads. It's always a smiling event for us. Yeah, everybody that's been watching this, thanks very much again, guys, for all the comments. I'm sorry if I've not been able to get your comment up, because obviously Andy Gray loves to have a wee chat. So we kind of feel now, myself and Sean, we kind of feel now that we just don't want to stop him in mid-spiel, because it
might cause more damage.
Ryan, we've actually got a wee comment in just before we finish for you, mate. The only Perry Ryan would get is Fred Perry.
To be fair, I don't like Fred Perry, by the way. I don't wear it, so. But no, I appreciate it.
Perry chips.
Oh, like
anybody that knows of anybody that's donating Katy Perry posters, Ryan's Twitter handle was up earlier. Feel free to file them forward. I'm pretty sure he'll accept them off his. But again, guys, thanks very much for your time. Massive hail. Cheers again, boys, and I'll see you again.
Cheers, hail.
Take care, boys. Cheers.
Bye bye.